Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crackhead with a Microphone, the only podcast in the world where you hand a crackhead a microphone and you listen to him talk until you wonder if you are the high one. My name is K Rock Dizzle. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so today this episode is actually another story time. Now, I know a lot of people they're gonna hear the story time and they're gonna ask, what's up with a town full of degenerates? Where's the next chapter or chapters of that? Which is great because I'm glad that people are excited about it because that is my most popular episode. So, just a quick update. I have been working on that. The reason I've been so hesitant to do new episodes or read the next chapters that I had read of that was because that episode kind of became more than I expected it to, and I didn't really have the full story outlined of where I wanted it to go. That's my first time really doing a long term novel story. So I've just been trying to work on that, making sure the story has a good end game, so that way I can do that in a good chunk of episodes, and it's all progressing towards an actual ending. I wanted to make sure the story was really good, so I've actually been writing that out. I have a good amount of chapters written. I am confident enough that I want to have episode well chapters 3 and 4 of that out for you guys soon. But I know you guys did like that story. So this is a story I wrote one time. It was a Reddit prompt about being kidnapped by a supervillain as a child of superheroes and your parents never come to save you. It's very quick. So, I don't even think this will be one of our weekly episodes. This will just be a quick little surprise joint. So, hope you guys enjoy this. Remember to leave a like if you like it, subscribe to make sure you're on top of it, and make sure your notifications are on for your subscriptions because, you might get a surprise episode every now and then. With that being said, I do want to get into the story. I sat in a room that pretty much looked like an old bedroom. There were posters on the wall of boy bands and books sitting on a shelf and decorations of flowers and vases. This was clearly someone's bedroom. From the look of it, it was the bedroom of a teenage girl. I was on the third floor of some house. I could tell that it was the third floor from how many flights of steps I was forced up, but other than that, there was really nothing to track my location. Monster Man came into the room as the sun rose. This was weird. This is my fifth day here, and the only people I had seen so far were henchmen. They'd give me food, pat my head silently, and go on about their day. Now, Monster Man, the most feared villain in the city, was standing in front of me, and I wasn't sure what to think or say. He started screaming at me furiously. Listen, kid, we know who you are. We know who your parents are. Why haven't they come to rescue you yet? I'm becoming really impatient. I stuttered for a second, not actually sure what was happening. Sure, the power couple of Orthodox and Black Sire were my parents, but how could he be sure of that? My training in situations like this was to play dumb and withhold any valuable information. I stuttered for a few seconds trying to stall, but then he interrupted. Where are Orthodox and Black Sire? He screamed into my face, veins bulging from his head and spit flying from his mouth and landing on my cheek. The jig was up. He had clearly done his research and he knew who I was and who my parents were. The best course of action from this point was complete honesty. They're probably off in space saving some bug planet that has ties with the US. Have you made your ransom offer yet? They have great kidnapper insurance, and you'll get all the money you want. Hell, even the boxer settled for a hefty untaxed $5 million, and he's a C tier threat. You could easily get $30 million. I tried to lighten the mood, still not sure why he kidnapped me, but every other time some bigwig villain snatched me up from the streets, it was for monetary gain. He just stared at me as I took bites of my breakfast between explaining, and his eyes wandered around the room. He looked at the poster, then the bookshelf, then the closet that I was demanded to never open. He began tearing up. This, this isn't about money. I just looked at him trying to stay disconnected, but something about his response scared me. Most of the city's villains usually lit up at the idea of a settlement that large, but he only seemed to become angrier. Well, I'm not sure where they are. They're always all fighting some villain or aliens or taking meetings in the Pentagon. I honestly haven't seen my mom in 3 weeks, and I haven't seen my dad in 2 months since he was held up in that war on Pluto. I went back to eating my food and chuckled. Honestly, I know you're the villain, but we can just chat until they show up. I mean, they have to look for me eventually, right? This is the longest conversation I've had with a parental figure in a long time. Monster Man teared up a bit more in hearing this, but just looked at me in confusion. He sat on the bed next to me. Well, now I'm doubtful they'll even show up at all. Do they come once I make the ransom request and do the trade? Oh no, the insurance guys handle the trade off. I've been kidnapped plenty of times, but oddly enough, I always make it home without seeing their faces. I guess when you're fighting in Iraq for the president, you can't come and save your own son. Even with their super speed, it would take too long, you know? Monster Man saw the sarcastic tone and clear disdain this kid had for his parents. He thought long and hard about what he was going to do. Then a look of confusion occurred. He kept looking around the room. All of the items in here were just filling his brain with images before he pasted his hands on his face and sobbed uncontrollably. He screamed, and I looked at him and asked if he wanted a hug. He just pushed me off. Listen, maybe we can figure something out. What exactly do you want from our parents? This question brought out the rage and anger that he had when he first entered the room. What do I want? I want them to suffer. This house is little. Oh God. This house is filled with enough explosives to take out a small planet. During the Battle of Philadelphia against the Dragon Brigade, they murdered my daughter. She was one of the innocent civilians that got eviscerated when Orthodox blew up that building before it was executed. A classroom full of 5-year-old kindergartners got blown to pieces. Your parents are monsters, and I'm going to make them pay. I was in shock. So many people died in that building. It was deemed a national tragedy. The news spoke for a week about how those two heroes had to take down the building. They were never tried for their crimes, though, as all authorities agreed it was the only option. I just watched as he cried, wanting to show sympathies, but confused on where he was going. He then continued. They took the only true love I had in this world away from me, and I vowed revenge. I stayed up tirelessly for nights to find out that you were their child and to kidnap you. I have a broadcast ready to air showing this building blowing up. I was going to force them to soak in your blood and viscera raining from the sky so they understood the pain I felt from their recklessness. All this planning, and they don't even care about their own son to know that he's missing? He looked at my face, desperate for a positive answer. I didn't have one for him, honestly. I began to cry too. Not that my parents didn't care about me, because all my life I had to try and convince my parents that they were not the villains of this world, and the bad they did was the price for good. I spent my life thinking about that neglect and lack of love because they were all saving the world. Now I'm in this room trapped with a supervillain because of their negligence in killing thousands of innocent people, and they won't even save me. I looked up at Monster Man and told him that I was sorry for what they did. I don't think they'll come though. It's clear they don't love me as much as you love your daughter. He left me in the room and hung his head in shame. I sat on the bed for a few more hours. One of the prisoners eventually came and fed me lunch, but she stayed asking me some questions. She asked me about the school I went to, where my clothes were, and some other stuff about my personal life, before telling me that I would be switching rooms later that night. I was shocked, but didn't think much of it. After finishing, she told me that my room would be ready in a few hours. After the time, a lot of time passed, I was transferred to a bedroom with a bunch of my belongings in it. My clothes, my game system, even my exact bed. Monster Man came in with his prime henchman and made me an offer. He stated that my parents had done horrible by both of us, and it's clear that we both needed a new beginning. He asked if I would be fine being adopted into his care as his son and henchman. I was hesitant at first, but after seeing how well he cared for his harem of henchmen and how well I was treated as a prisoner, I agreed. We hugged, and he promised that one day, when I grow older, I can take revenge on my parents together in a way that doesn't require my death. He still vowed revenge for his fallen daughter, but the plan had changed. He took their child away from them and did this, and when they get older, I would be their ultimate demise. As for me, that was the day I became the son of Monster Man, and that was the day I finally had a family that would actually love me. Damn, that was quick. That was only 10 minutes. Oh my god, I keep peeking the fucking mic. This mic is strong, but also like not strong, but also like strong. I don't know. Anyway, that's that story. A little sad, but something quick. Like I said, it was based on a Reddit prompt. Um, like I said, if you like this, leave a comment. Tell me you like it. I could, do more short stories. Maybe that could be like, a once a week thing. You do get a regular episode and a short story episode. Who doesn't live 2 episodes a week? Like I said, working on Town Full of Degenerates, so keep an eye out for that. That is going to be like an actual weekly episode because you remember how long that episode was. That was about 30 minutes. So that'll be one of the 30-minute episodes. I've got an episode coming out this Tuesday because I'm just gonna edit this and then just drop this same day. So this should be coming out the 21st. Episode should be coming out the 23rd. Gonna try to have Town Full of Degenerates out before out by mid August or September. Just want to make sure I got everything good there. So yeah. Other than that, hope you guys have a great day and thanks for listening.